And I apologize, I had an emergency call, so I had to step out. And I did go back and look at the presentation. I'm not sure you addressed it. But if you could give me an update on MARTA's role with the streetcar and the status of the card system or whatever, so that we can start charging people to get on it.
I can give you an update on the component of what MARTA's role is, the fair media component. That's beyond our responsibilities at MARTA.
I thought it was okay, perhaps I'll have to get more clarification from our department when we have our update on the streetcar at the next meeting. But I was understanding that one of the issues, at least as it was reported in the media, which could be incorrect, that it was being said that we were trying to work out issues with MARTA related to the fare card system, which was the rationale as to why we weren't charging people.
That's accurate. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I want to hear about that, and I also want to be clear about what your role is.
Okay, so let me start off with the role. The approved interlocal agreement between MARTA and the city calls for what we call active management, where MARTA provides some day-to-day oversight of how the city runs the system, but all the employees, whether they are operators, mechanics, even the safety personnel, those people are City of Atlanta employees.
So can I stop you there, because I just want to be clear that I'm understanding what you're saying. When you say you have day-to-day oversight, although the employees are City of Atlanta employees, what does that oversight mean?
Right.
Can you hire them, fire them, discipline them, or are you just watching them?
Yeah, we can't hire and fire. However, what we can do is make a recommendation to our executive committee. That's a committee made up of city staff along with MARTA staff, and take whatever actions that are necessary to make sure the system continues to run in an appropriate manner.
So who makes the final decision? Is this
it's a joint decision by that committee.
By the executive committee, which encompasses who? That
encompasses the city staff members as well as MARTA staff members.
So I guess I'm trying to understand, just to be sure. So who, you say you do day-to-day oversight, so could you just give me a little bit more details of what your role?
To give you an example, when we see any type of safety issue that emerges, our safety personnel will go out and do an investigation, take a look around to see if there are any things that need immediate attention. If they see that sort of thing, they bring it to the attention of the streetcar director and others, city employees, and then see to it that action is taken on those items. If not, then we actually have the authority, if necessary, to actually shut the system down if we see any type of ongoing safety issues. So our role is, again, to provide an active oversight to make sure everything's running okay, to make sure the customers are getting served properly, but the ultimate implementation of those things is the responsibility of the city. So that's the partnership.
So if there's some deficiencies in this area, who's responsible? Would you, what level of responsibility does MARTA take?
It's a partnership. So if there are ongoing problems with the system, we view that as just as much our responsibility as a city. So we
so
continue
if there are
to
deficiencies, both the city and MARTA are responsible for those deficiencies.
Yes, ma'am. We take active management.
Good to know. We're joined by Councilmember Natalie Archibald. Okay, so then, which is interesting, so we'll get to that in a minute. So now we're to the point about whether we're able to have the ability to charge for the fares.
Right. One of the real challenges for smaller operations, like a streetcar operation, even like the transit operation in Cobb or Gwinnett or what have you, is that when you try to build a smart card system, they can be very expensive. The back office operation particularly can be expensive. So what we're trying to work out with the city is how they can still be a part of the Breeze system, but make it affordable. And short term, we're still going through that, but ultimately if the city decides to use some other format, what we would hope to do is make them connected so that at some point in the future, the Breeze system could be used by the city system and vice versa.
Okay, so you kind of lost me. You said if the city decides to use another system.
Right. If they
are
go
we
to
not going to use the Breeze system?
Well, again,
or is that decision not made at this point?
That would be a decision of the city, not ours.
So the decision as to whether a breeze card or something else, the city has not made that decision
Right,
or articulated that decision to you.
Right, that would be the city's decision to make.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? And thank you.
Thank you.
Those will be interesting points I'd love to bring up. We'll look forward to bringing up when we have the streetcar discussion.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else from my colleagues wanting to speak? I think Mr. Shakir had a comment.
Yes, Ron Shakir, Southwest Atlanta. I'm really concerned about that streetcar where we're talking about, I don't know where about in the sky it's coming from, but we're talking about Camilton Road, and we really do not have a way to charge yet. And I would just seem like it would only be fair if we're going to talk about the streetcar is that expansion. We ought to put a price tag on it, because what I hear nationally and what I hear coming from Washington, D.C., that it's just too expensive to go down those roads. And I don't know why we're saying it. But I had the pleasure of riding L.A. Transit system last week. And I was pleasantly pleased to find out that their car was $1. And too often, I think we go off on trips and we see where we want to imitate somebody. I think that we ought to recognize that we're the leaders in this country when it talked about urban and progressive thinking. So I hope we can get a little bit more progressive and creative with our costs of riding more.